Malcolm Jamal-Warner, dead at 54. Cosby show star died at age 54. TMZ reported on Monday. A source confirmed that Warner's death to People. The insider claimed Warner was in Costa Rica on a family vacation and drowned while swimming. Costa Rican National Police told ABC News that Warner drowned near Cockles, a beach in Lyman, Costa Rica. They claimed he was caught by a high current in the water and was found Sunday afternoon. Warner's death was asphyxia, according to police. Goes on to say, however, no official cause of death has been confirmed yet. A Post reached out to Warner's rep for comment. Warner played Theo Huxtable, son of Bill Cosby's Cliff Huxtable, on NBC sitcom from 84 to 92. Dang, he was young. Goes on to say, in 2021, Warner exclusively spoke to the Post about the legacy of the Cosby Show following Cosby's sexual assault conviction that was later overturned. He said, I can understand why some people can't watch the show, and I enjoy it because of everything that's going on now. But I think there's a generation of young people who have pursued higher education or started having loving families because of the influence of that show. This was him back in the day, him on the Cosby Show. He says, so it's kind of like you can't discount the impact on television culture and American culture. Warner was born in New Jersey in 1970, named after Malcolm X and the jazz pianist Ahmad Jamal. He began his career as a child performer. He attended the Professional Children's School in New York City. That's him. This is a more recent version of him. Looked like he aged well. He was a grown man, you know. He auditioned for the role of Theo Huxtable, blah, 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 nominated for an Emmy. That's him right there. Warner's, after the Cosby Show, he starred in the UPN sitcom Malcolm and Eddie alongside Eddie Griffin in 1996 to 2000, followed by the CBT sitcom Read Between the Lines 2011 through 15. Notable acting credits Here and Now, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Listen Up Community, Sons of Anarchy, Jeremiah, American Horror Story, American Crime Story, Suits in 911. From 2018 to 2023, he played Dr. A.J. Austin on The Resident. I have seen him on that. He's also the voice of the producer character on the Magic School Bus. Most recently, he appeared in 3 episodes of Fox's Alert, Missing Persons Unit. It's crazy. He's survived by his wife and daughter, who he chose to keep private. Wow. So, in an era where everybody is clout chasing and everybody is trying to create a narrative, Malcolm Jamal Warner just stayed to himself. He did his work. He took care of his business. He took care of his family, and he stayed focused on the bag. You know what I'm saying? And then he wound up passing away, and apparently Costa Rica in a drowning accident. And so, rest in peace to him. It seemed like all of the good people are the ones that wind up suffering. It is tragic. It is unfortunate. I think that his career and his legacy is cemented. He seemed like a great actor. He never got into no mess. He seemed like he was one of the rare few child actors that didn't get caught up, that didn't drown as a result of the visibility and the fame and the fortune. He was married. He had a daughter, and he was on vacation with his family, and that's messed up. It's messed up. So I think that these type of people need to be celebrated in the culture. And I was going to do a breakdown tomorrow, but I just figured I just wind up acknowledging them today because it's important for us to celebrate the real ones. Most of the time, we don't get an opportunity to celebrate the real ones because we so busy focused on the fake ones. We so busy focused on people that is not valuable, that don't seem to take care of their business. But it seems like he was one of the real ones. Seems like he's one of the real ones. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. You got to pray for the family. Hopefully, he had all of his ducks in a row. That is why I am constantly, every single year, around spring, summer, And the lesson in this is make sure that you got your ducks in a row. Make sure you live every day like it's your last, and make sure you leave it all on the floor. Because at 54, as a man, he still had a lot of life to live. 54 is young. Yes, it is, Adon. 54 is young. You got to think, man, he probably had another 30, 35 years ahead of him. He could have did another 30, 35 years. Most men don't even get to the apex of their earnings until they're in their late 50s, early 60s. Guys, a lot of times they age better if you're not a boxer getting your head beat in and stuff like that. 54 is still relatively young, bro. It is. You got a whole another back half of your life to live fruitfully. And so look at him. I mean, you could just look at him and say, yo, he had a whole life to live. Seriously. Like this is he not looking dusty, he not rough, he not crippled and none of that stuff. He had a whole life to live. You know what I'm saying? And so, I can't necessarily speak about the water and the currents, you know what I'm saying? But I will say that just live every day like it's your last. For me personally, every single year I realign what it is that I need to take care of to ensure that if anything was to ever happen to me, that my family is straight and taken care of. Um, it is. It's tough. It's tough. I have nothing negative to say about him. He seemed like he was a cool guy. And here's the thing: he never got caught up in no mess. He was never in the news for some foolishness. Not that I'm aware of. And it just looked like he was just a cool family guy that took care of his business, worked, and he stayed to himself and he stayed out of the mess. And that's rare. That is very rare for a person, um, that is that's in the limelight. Most people, their personal life at some point spill over. It'd be a big scandal or something like that. If you're able to be a public figure for as long as he has, and is able to transition from the 80s all the way up into the 2020s and never get caught up in no mess, you should be celebrated. These are the type of people that we should celebrate inside of our community. So rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal-Warner. We got to send up a prayer for his family. Lord bless his wife, bless his child, and you know, life happens to all of us. We don't know what our expiration date is. If God told you you got 54 years on this earth, because that's the time that he died, because we all think that we going to age gracefully and we going to get old. If God tells you you got 54 years on this earth and then you're going to drown, what would you do differently? Like, that's the lesson that I always take out of this. How would you live your life differently? Would you be so focused on the BS? Would you be focused on whether or not people are or aren't? Would you be leaning more into things that are more productive for your life and having better conversations? Would you be building better relationships with your people, your parents, your daughters, your sons, your mother, your people? You know what I'm saying? If you knew exactly what your expiration date is, which I would never want to know what my expiration date is, would you live your life differently? And would you leave it on the flow? Would you live it like it's no tomorrow? That's how I live my life. Honest to God. Every day I leave it on the flow. I party like it's 1999. I enjoy life. I mean, you do it responsibly, obviously. You still got to invest and take care of your business and, be reasonable in your expectations. But I live life to the fullest. I live life to the fullest. Even when it comes to my relationship, I tell Rita, I tell my daughter, I tell everybody around me, I say, I am going to spend all of my time focusing on the thing that I like about you instead of changing you for something that I don't necessarily care about. I, I don't care about that other thing. When I'm here, I'm trying to have a great time. I'm gonna spend 98, 99% of my time on the thing that I love about you, and I'm gonna spend 1 or 2% of the time trying to solve for problems. You know what's wrong. I know what's wrong with me. I know what I gotta work on. And so I'm gonna deal with that on my own time. And when I'm with people, I'm gonna just have a good time. I don't waste time on that bullshit. I don't. I ain't trying to waste time on that nonsense. You wouldn't go near water, man. Look, now y'all living in final destination mode. That's not the point. That's not the point that I was trying to make. You don't know people die from car crashes. What you gonna do? Not go into cars? You can't predict it. That's the whole idea. You can't predict what is going to happen in your life. All you can do is live life to the fullest. When people a lot of times they say stuff like, "Oh man, it's the end of times." Nigga, your end of times may be tomorrow. You don't know. End of times, and it's people that died regular lives waiting on the end of times. Your time is up tomorrow. You don't know. You don't know. So you got to leave it on the flow. Live life with no regret. Appreciate your parents. Appreciate the people that's around you. Show them respect. That don't mean that you got to embrace their lifestyle, but honor your mother and your father. Do the best that you can. Set things up, and then have a good time and enjoy the time that you got on this life, on this earth, bro.